Eddie Hearn says he is the best promoter in the world and that Tyson Fury would be much bigger if he left Frank Warren to join him. And, you know, I have to figure that this is what Eddie Hearn actually wants. He did try and sign Tyson Fury a few years ago when Fury was making his comeback, and perhaps he regrets not pursuing him more, how can I describe it, more seriously or more persistently? I don't know. Because when you look at the way the careers of his cash cow AJ and Tyson Fury have turned out, Tyson Fury's in a better position at this point. It's Tyson Fury who'll be selling out Wembley against one of Eddie Hearn's other fighters in Dillian Whyte next month. You see it? So, yeah, Eddie Hearn, as I mentioned in another video, must be thinking, how am I going to satisfy my bosses at DAZN? Because it looks like AJ is almost certainly going to re-sign with Sky. DAZN want a star in the UK. They've temporarily got a star in Canelo in America, but in the UK, they want a star. How are they going to get that if AJ's not on their platform? Maybe Eddie Hearn's thinking, I need to sign Tyson Fury. Or if Dillian Whyte beats Tyson Fury, I need to make sure that he signs to a long-term broadcast contract, you know, long-term broadcast deal with DAZN. Because, again, DAZN are lacking stars at the moment. I know he's got Conor Benn and all that, but it's nothing like a heavyweight. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Is Eddie Hearn getting a little concerned at this point? You know, are those board meetings getting a little difficult for Eddie Hearn? Is he feeling the pressure from Len Blavatnik? Is that why he's talking about, oh, if Tyson Fury was with me, he'd be bigger? And I think Eddie Hearn is in slight denial at this point, because when I see him talk about the Frank Warren situation where he's got this Tyson Fury Dillian Whyte fight and so on, he wants to act dismissive. The show Sky are putting on when they did Amir Khan versus Kell Brook and did supposedly over 500,000 buys, Eddie Hearn didn't want to admit, you know, he was kind of awkward about admitting that that's better numbers than he thought they actually. In fact, I think he tried to downplay that. Oh, I heard they did a bit less than that, you know? And even with the ticket sales for the Wembley event, Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, he kind of begrudgingly eventually acknowledged that he, you know, it did better than he expected in terms of ticket sales. He tried to say, oh, well, they haven't sold all the coach packages, so they haven't sold out yet because the coach packages. Eddie, come on. They did better than you thought they would do. They're now selling out Wembley, which Eddie Hearn probably thought a few years ago Frank Warren was incapable of, that Frank Warren would never sell out Wembley. And here we are, he's actually doing it. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is Eddie Hearn getting a little concerned here? A little hot under the collar, you know, sweaty in those board meetings. Is that the reason why he's saying stuff like this about Tyson Fury? And is it actually true? Would Tyson Fury be bigger if he signed to Eddie Hearn? Now, if he'd signed to Eddie Hearn years ago, then I'm sure it would be true. But in terms of right now, is there anything that Eddie Hearn can do for Tyson Fury that Frank Warren can't do? Arguably, Tyson Fury's on a bigger platform. In fact, a lot of people are going to be saying it's not arguable, but I'm talking about for boxing. BT is a bigger platform overall, for sure. But specifically for boxing, is it a bigger platform than DAZN? I don't know. Again, that's why I'm saying it's arguable, because I haven't really thought about it that deeply or looked at any figures and so on. But arguably, BT is a bigger platform than DAZN, even just for boxing. So what has Eddie Hearn got to offer Tyson Fury? Eddie Hearn is a very good promoter. It's not just because of the fact that he has a rich dad who was already a boxing promoter. That's not the only reason why Eddie Hearn's in the position he's in. He does have genuine talent himself. But perhaps, as I've suggested in recent videos, he's gotten overconfident. And he's allowed the likes of Frank Warren and even Sky with Ben Shalom to gain some ground back on him. Is it even level pegging at this point between Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn in the UK? I'm not talking about globally, because Frank Warren's not a global promoter like Eddie Hearn is. But in the UK, is it virtually level pegging now between Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn? And when I say level pegging, I'm sure that if you go on Company's House, Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions is still not making anywhere near as much money as Eddie Hearn's Matchroom. I'm sure of that. But if you're talking about the DAZN situation, yeah, Eddie Hearn's still got AJ, and AJ will be fighting on Sky, it looks like. But just the DAZN situation, right? is that any stronger than what Frank Warren is doing on BT? I know Eddie Hearn's had some good shows. We all enjoyed the show. The past few shows they've done, we've all enjoyed the Matchroom shows. But is that any bigger than what Frank Warren's doing? Particularly when he's got this Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte fight. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below.